Cenk's coming in here and he's going after AOC, right? And here's his attack. He says, AOC hasn't endorsed a challenger to an incumbent Democrat in the last 2 election cycles, and she is enthusiastically supporting Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker if Dems win the House. When people were working so hard to get her elected, this is the exact opposite of what we were hoping for, okay? The outsiders who beat incumbents like AOC did were supposed to open the gates behind them for other challengers to storm the castle. She's now trying to glue the doors shut and help the establishment figures. Maybe that plays well in DC, but not out here in the populous woods. But like, dude, what the fuck is he talking about? Dude, you know what I mean? Like, dude, what did he hope? What was he hoping for? I mean, she's literally in, like, being considered a possible presidential candidate. So to have your congressperson be somebody who's in the discussion for president and actually has a significant amount of support for that is fucking insane, bro. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. And now Mamdani's in there in New York, and now there's a whole coalition in New York, people. And AOC is definitely aligned with them, and Bernie is aligned with them, and Ro Khanna is aligned with them. Everybody that Cenk, like, is connected to, that supposedly Cenk likes or is important, is aligned. But like, AOC's like at the top now, dude. She's like up there at the top. And what is this guy doing? What did this line, the exact opposite of what we were hoping for? What was he hoping for? That she would vote for Tucker Carlson? You know what I'm saying? That she would vote for MTG? Like, what is Cenk's, like, wish here? Because I did reply to this. I said she won her district with 87% of the vote and is firmly aligned with the progressive coalition that is forming in Congress. Okay, Cenk is mad because he got 6% of the vote, and AOC won't come on the progressive show that is constantly boosting Tucker and MTG, dude. This is so true. Cenk's got that, like, vendetta for AOC, and what's more is I think he's still trying to, like, position himself as like the outsider. But dude, Cenk Uygur is paid off, guys. Cenk Uygur has taken money from Hillary Clinton's people, from Peter Thiel's people. There's like some money from Qatar. I mean, dude, Cenk Uygur has fucking taken money, like, from everybody. This is Cenk's game of Cenk Uygur doesn't have any real political power. When TYT was blowing up and Cenk was like going onto the Bernie thing, and he was the forefront of like picking up all these progressives and giving them jobs and expanding TYT. There was a time when Cenk Uygur was a kingmaker. I know it's generous because he wasn't actually, but he had like that kind of clout, okay? He had that kind of clout in the commentary world. But then he fucking got booted. He lost MSNBC, and that gave him this indie cred of like, well, I'm not the mainstream, okay? But here's the problem. He stayed resentful about MSNBC, and he tried to control everybody and be the top dog, and he ended up running his shit into the ground, okay? Because if Cenk Uygur had just become a background figure and had let Kyle and Fran and Emma and John and all of those other people be the commentators, he could have built a Midas touch-like empire and had this thing that was super clouded. if he had not been resentful about MSNBC and had maintained those connections, he could still be an insider and be ruffling the feathers. But he tried to hold it all, held on to his resentments against everybody, and he's burned his shit to the ground. Okay, so now he's trying to position himself as some kind of an outlaw, which means like the people above him are sellouts and the people below him need help, but he's not the guy to help. He's going to be busy, like, you know, polishing the knobs of every right-wing figure and trying to expand his audience back into his Republican roots, okay? And so that is why he's now, you know, him and Anna both are like, they're basically attacking everyone. They have become centrists, but a different kind of centrist. They're not centrist Dems, they're centrist populists who abhor the far left and abhor the far right, but they also don't like the centrist Dems and they don't like the Republicans, but, well, they'll commune with Tucker Carlson and MTG and every misfit. But they have become like the centrists where they don't stand for anything and they are simply trying to grasp for power. They take money from anyone. Okay, Cenk Uygur will say, I want to get money out of politics. But, dude, who won't this guy take money from? He's taking money from Hillary's people, from Qatar, from Polymarket, from J.D. Vance's other investment. He's taking money from Andrew Yang, right? The fucking Noble Mobile. Like, dude, this guy, any political spectrum person could come in and throw him some money and Cenk Uygur will bend over and take it right up the wazoo for him. And he'll add them to his little platform. Oh, J.D. Vance isn't so bad because, the check cleared, right? Right? This guy's climbing into a chair with Dr. Phil. Jesus Christ. Bro, you know, it's like, what the fuck, dude? Get it wrong so many times and have so much attitude. Delusional ego. You know, I don't think it's AOC's job necessarily to endorse. I think she's in a different role now, where like AOC was an endorser and a pull people into the coalition, but now AOC is like the member of the coalition that is going into the mainstream, okay? So now she has to like no longer be the fringe person, because once you get in there, you like, once you're into that sort of establishment nook, if you now grab the fringe, you lose your establishment power, okay? So what happens is AOC becomes the establishment progressive, the other people are going to become the fringe elevators, okay? But again, you need all the pieces, okay? You need all the pieces. You know, you can't, it's like the rabble rousers and the establishment connected people can be working together, right? But they are, I think they have different roles. You say AOC is a promise to America grifter. I don't believe that. I don't believe that AOC is a grifter. I don't believe that she is a grifter. I think AOC wants to be president, and I think in order to be president, you have to be able to function in every corner of the coalition, okay? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at Bernie, for example, okay? Bernie is like a barn burner when he is out there getting the voters excited and having his rally and stirring up the young people and stirring up the ideology, right? But Bernie he's not good at having a coalition inside Congress, okay? He doesn't have any real allies in Congress. Bernie's a guy who makes the ideological, I won't vote for this because I'm fighting for a bigger ideal. And that, more than anything, is why Bernie couldn't be president. because the establishment worked against Bernie to thwart him because he was not connected to it at all, right? Now, AOC, I think, saw what happened to Bernie, and she realized if I want to be president, I have to have enough of the establishment in my pocket to where they're not going to crush me. But she also knows she needs a whole bunch of other allies. So that's what I think of AOC. I think she wants to be Bernie, but she knows how to actually get there. But again, they're different roles, guys. You got to have different roles, you know? Like, I am a rule breaker. I am first guy through the wall. I don't plan out my shit. I just make the big moves and then I follow up, okay? And I am a rabble rouser. I am an instigator. I am a catalyst, okay? That's me. Now, my girlfriend is a play-by-the-rules person who is, like, thoughtful and careful and considers the moves and gathers all information before making a decision. The two of us are like an amazing fucking team together, okay? Because I will break the rules, but she will rein me in. We interface in two different ways. People that I would offend, my girlfriend can win over, okay? And these are like the roles of, like, if you want to establish progressivism in the government, you can't all be like the people burning the barn, okay? You need to have people that can interface with the establishment. You need people that can shake the fucking timbers. You need people that can, like, smooth it over after people are hurt. Like, you need a whole fucking, like, melange of different personalities, okay? Right? Yeah, not all gas, not all brakes. Now, I think, here's one of the things that I've said before. I've said this many times before, that my personal experience is you can't infiltrate a power structure without having somebody that is integrated into it. Okay? That's true. You have to have somebody that is integrated in the power structure somewhere, some way, shape, or form in order to fracture it. Okay? You can't just throw stones at it from the outside. It would be real hard to demolish a building, guys, if you could only put explosives around the outside. You would not bring down a building. Right? You need to get in the building, and you need to get into the inner working areas where that framework is, where that inner skeleton is, in order to fucking collapse a building. It's the same in politics, okay? Do you need outsiders that are instigators, catalysts, rabble rousers? Absolutely. But you also need people that are in your coalition that are inside with their hands on that internal structure. Okay? You can't do it without that. And so I think AOC is internal structure. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.